Welcome to Therapy Meets Soul, a Live Empowered podcast, where we bridge the gap between the clinical and the mind, body, and soul in the most honest way you've ever heard. I'm your host, Dr. Dena, a clinical psychologist and the founder of Live Empowered. Stay tuned because we've got a really good one coming up. Have you ever looked back at your dating history and thought to yourself, how the hell do I keep ending up with the same person again? Different face, different style, different job, different body, but somehow the same emotional chaos, the same predictable patterns, the same abandonment, the same fixer project, the same disappointment, the same roller coaster. And at some point you start wondering, am I the problem? Or maybe, why do I keep attracting the same person? Today, we're going to talk about something that might sting a little, but might also completely change the way you look at love. Because the truth is, you're not choosing different relationships. You're choosing the same damn relationship, just in different bodies. And no, it's not because you're broken. It's because your nervous system has a type. And your nervous system doesn't choose what's healthy. It chooses what's familiar. So let's talk about why this happens, and more importantly, how to stop. Your type is probably a trauma pattern that stems all the way back from childhood. And some people are probably going to hate hearing this, but it needs to be said. What you call a type might actually be a wound. Let me explain. Some people might think or even say on the surface level, I always attract narcissists. Why do I always date emotionally unavailable men? Why do I attract women that need saving? Why do I date people that abandon me? Always, 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 right? You see the pattern, but attraction isn't random. We are often subconsciously pulled towards what our nervous system recognizes. And here's the kicker. Recognizable feels safe, even when it hurts. Recognizable feels safe, even when our logical mind tells us otherwise. Here's where the childhood stuff kicks in, those wounds that we were talking about earlier. When you were a child, you were taught what love is supposed to look like through your caregivers. Either they were teaching you what love looked like, but more commonly, they were modeling for you what love looked like. So, if as a child, love looked inconsistent, today you may confuse anxiety with chemistry. If growing up, love required caretaking, today you may choose emotionally immature partners. If growing up, love felt conditional, today you may overperform in relationships. If growing up, chaos was normal, today calm may actually feel boring. I'm going to say that again because I just know there are people that need to hear this. Calm can feel boring when your nervous system is addicted to chaos. Not because you want suffering, but because peace feels unfamiliar, and unfamiliar feels unsafe. Think about a person who says to themselves, I don't know why I always end up with avoidant partners. And then a healthy person comes along and that person texts consistently, communicates clearly, shows emotional availability, and then that person thinks to themselves, something is missing. No, babe. What's missing is dysfunction, and your nervous system is actually panicking because no one is abandoning you. So if this is true, why do our brains keep doing this? Your brain is trying to finish old business. Here's what most people don't realize. Sometimes relationships aren't about love. You think they're about love. You most certainly want them to be about love. But on a psychological level, that's not always what's happening. They're about unfinished emotional business. Your brain unconsciously tries to recreate old wounds, hoping that this time you'll get a different ending. The emotionally unavailable parent equals the emotional unavailable partner. The critical parent equals the critical partner. The inconsistent love that you witnessed as a child equals the hot cold relationship that you have today. Why? Because part of you believes that if I can finally get this person to love me, then maybe I'm worthy. That's deep and it's painful because we're not chasing love, we're chasing repair. We're trying to heal childhood wounds through our adult relationships, and that is a setup for heartbreak. I'm going to say something so important that it's worth saying twice. You cannot heal abandonment by abandoning yourself to earn someone else's love. You cannot heal abandonment by abandoning yourself to earn someone else's love. Say that as many times as you need to yourself until it becomes very, very clear. Red flags that you're dating the same person again. Okay, let's get painfully honest with ourselves. Here are some red flags that you're finding yourself in a relationship pattern. Number 1, different person, same emotional feeling. Now, when we talk about emotional feeling, this is the part in your journey where you have to learn how to check in with yourself. You have to learn to tap into what you feel inside your body. And sometimes that's going to be painful. And we're going to want to be in denial. But if you want to heal, then you need to do it honestly. So you need to ask yourself, what does this relationship feel like inside of my body? Do I feel anxious? Do I feel uncertain? Do I feel like I'm trying to earn love? Do I feel like I'm walking on eggshells? Do I feel like I'm overthinking my text? This matters because patterns are emotional, not visual. And patterns are most loud when you feel them inside your body. So again, moving away from just the thoughts and the cognitions into the mind, body, and soul, and being able to tap into yourself and to feel what a relationship feels like. This is how you identify your patterns, and this is how you identify that you might be in a same relationship pattern. The second red flag that you might be dating the same person, you might confuse intensity with intimacy. The butterflies, the obsessive thinking, the emotional highs and lows, the constant uncertainty. That isn't chemistry. That is activation. Activation of your nervous system. The third red flag that you might be dating the same person again is that you turn into a different person in order to keep the relationship. Common things that I've seen in therapy are overgiving, people-pleasing, tolerating disrespect, ignoring your needs, making excuses, shrinking yourself, all to maintain this relationship. And this goes back to our childhood wounds of thinking that if I can finally get this person to love me, then maybe I'm worthy. You keep saying, but when it's good, it's really good. Girl or guy, that is the literal slogan of an emotionally inconsistent relationship. Healthy love should not look like emotional withdrawal followed by tiny, tiny bits of reinforcement or rewards. That's called intermittent reinforcement, and that is incredibly addicting. Think about it like this. People who gamble and they go to the slot machines, they're constantly putting in money, coin after coin after coin. Why do they keep on doing that behavior? Because at some point they think, I'm gonna win big, I'm gonna hit it. So not every time when they put the coin in do they get something, but maybe on the third time and the sixth time and the ninth time, they hit the jackpot or they get an award or a reward. That intermittent reinforcement, that idea that it's coming, something good is coming, That's what causes an addiction. And it's no different than what happens in these unhealthy, emotionally inconsistent relationships where things are really, really good. And then there's that pullback, and you're just waiting and waiting until you get the reward again. And in the meantime, you're people pleasing and you're tolerating disrespect and you're shrinking yourself, just waiting for that reward, waiting for that hit of the addiction. So, how do we stop repeating this cycle? Step 1, we need accountability. Stop asking yourself, why do I attract this? And start asking yourself, why do I choose this? And not from a place of shame, but from a place of empowerment. Because attraction may not be your fault, but healing is definitely your responsibility. Step 2, learn your nervous system triggers. Start asking yourself, what feels familiar to me? What dynamics feel magnetic? What red flags do I romanticize? What healthy traits secretly turn me off? Those answers will tell you everything. Number 3, date slower. Trauma bonds move fast. Healthy attachments build so much slower. If it feels wildly intoxicating immediately, please pause. Slow down. It doesn't mean that you are automatic soulmates. Sometimes what it means is that your wounds recognize each other. Number 4, stop ignoring your body. Stop ignoring your nervous system. Your body knows. You just need to start listening. Do you feel tightness? Do you feel anxiety, uncertainty, fear, hypervigilance, confusion? Or do you feel safety, calm, emotional steadiness, consistency? Peace feels unfamiliar before it feels beautiful. I'm going to say it again. Peace feels unfamiliar before it feels beautiful. And that is one of the hardest parts of healing, because healing relationships can initially feel the opposite of exciting. Too calm, boring, too easy, almost even suspicious. But that doesn't mean it's wrong. It might just mean that you're healing. It might just mean that you're breaking old patterns. And that's something that you should feel so proud of yourself for. And so I want to leave you with this. You are not doomed to repeat the same relationship forever. Awareness changes patterns. Healing changes attraction. And eventually, the one thing that felt irresistible can start to feel so exhausting. And the one thing that felt boring can start to feel so safe. So, stop chasing people that trigger your wounds and start choosing people who respect and support your healing. Because love is not supposed to feel like survival. It's not supposed to feel like your nervous system is activated all day, every day. Love is supposed to feel like a partnership. It's supposed to feel safe. It's supposed to feel calm. And it's supposed to feel like home. If this episode hit home, send it to the friend that keeps dating the same emotionally unavailable person, just in a different outfit. And if this brought up something for you, I'd love to hear, what relationship pattern or patterns are you finally done repeating? I'll see you in the next episode.